Welcome to Down to the River with Pastor Adam from Oglesby Union Church. Down to the River is a fast 5 minutes to drink in some of the living water given to us by Jesus through studying His Word, the Bible. From Oglesby Union Church, here's Pastor Adam.
Have you counted the cost? Jesus asked this question of the large crowds that were following Him. He turned around and addressed them with a couple word pictures. The first was the building of a tower. Does He not first sit down and calculate the cost to see if He has enough to complete it? In today's language, have you had the blueprints drawn up? Have you obtained the bids? And have you secured the finances for this project? Now, Jesus goes on to give the outcome if these things have not been done. Otherwise, when He has laid a foundation and is not able to finish, all who observe it will begin to ridicule Him, saying, "This man began to build and was not able to finish." So this very visible building site will be looked upon unfavorably by others because it was partially built and left unfinished. The neighborhood in the city would not be pleased. Jesus goes on to another about a king preparing for war. Will he not first sit down and consider whether he is strong enough with 10,000 men to encounter the one coming against him with 20,000? So if the numbers are in their favor, do you have some advantage, like the higher ground or bigger weapons to compensate for the lopsided numbers? Will a battle plan be in place and training instituted to execute with precision? If not, Jesus goes on to say, while the other is still far off, He sends a delegation and asks for terms of peace. The foolish king is the one who doesn't prepare but forges ahead into a slaughter, and it will be evident that the blame will land squarely on him. Their blood will be on his hands. Now, this lack of preparation for the tower and the war makes the point that when it comes to following Jesus, accounting of the cost is in order. So how much does it cost to follow Jesus? Jesus goes on to say, "In the same way, therefore, every one of you who does not renounce all his possessions cannot be my disciple." And earlier Jesus said, "If anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, and yes, even his own life, he cannot be my disciple." So I need to renounce all my possessions and hate my own father and mother? Now, this kind of talk from Jesus seems to fly contrary to Him saying that we need to love even our enemies and ask Him for our daily bread. This seems to be a contradiction. What's up, Jesus? Well, when we count the cost of following Jesus, our possessions are now not for our will, but for His. We look at what we have with new eyes. We steward what God has given us, and we surrender any hold on it so it can be fully used by Him. An old preacher told me in the story of his first pastorate, he loved his car. He waxed it often. He kept the interior in immaculate condition. He was young, and he wanted to reach out to the young boys of the church, so he planned an outing. He went to pick them up, but being in farm country, the first boy bounded toward the car with mud and manure flying from his rubber boots. Tempted to drive off, the young parson held the car door closed and yelled through the glass for the young man to remove his boots before entering his car. Well, that day, the pastor needed to surrender his possession because the young men's souls were more important than the unmarred upholstery. So when Jesus says we're to hate our father and mother, what He's saying is that we need to love Him so much more than we love even our parents. And our love for God enables us to love our family even more than we do right now. Our family relationships, which can pull us away from God, are to be put in their rightful place so that God takes the supreme spot in our lives. So how much does it cost to follow Jesus? Our total dependence is to be on Him. He will provide all that we need, and if it's just you and Jesus, that's not only sufficient, but what is necessary for eternal life in heaven. Don't let anyone tell you differently. It is costly to follow Jesus because He paid a costly price for you to be one of God's children. Want to know more about the Oglesby Union Church Youth Group? Well, join us Sunday morning, March 31st, for a youth-led service at 10:30 a.m. Check out our website at ouc.life, and I'm Pastor Adam, asking for God's blessing upon you as you live your life to the glory of Him.
Join Pastor Adam this morning at Oglesby Union Church. They're right next to City Hall on Walnut Street, and their Sunday morning worship service starts at 10:30. Oglesby Union Church's mission is to know Jesus, grow in Him, go where He leads, and show His love. Drink more of the living water from Jesus today at Oglesby Union Church, and go down to the river again next Sunday morning at 8:25 on Classic Hits 103.9 WLPL.